Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. I thought today we would make an Iraqi dish called Makluba. It's really, really good. And they're probably gonna make fun of me for saying it a little differently, but I'm American and I do the best I can. Anyhow, it's basically a dish with chicken and vegetables and rice, and you cook it in a pot, and then when it's done, you flip it upside down and serve it, and it's beautiful. So this is what we're gonna do. I've got the chicken ready here already. And I use chicken thighs because chicken thighs are very moist and tender and they cook really nicely. Now you could leave the skin on if you want the skin on, but I don't like the skin. So I always get them without the skin and without bone. You could also get it with the bone. Inside of here, I have coriander, a teaspoon of coriander, a tablespoon of really, really good curry. I have a teaspoon of cumin, salt, pepper. I have some turmeric, a quarter teaspoon of turmeric in there, and just salt and pepper to taste, and a quarter cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. You're gonna mix all that together, and you're gonna leave this in the bowl. It's been sitting out probably about 20 minutes now. So at least 30 minutes, leave it in the bowl, let it marinate, put it on the side. I also cut up a plate here. It has tomato slices, green pepper, 2 potatoes cut just semi-thick like that, and an onion. I've cut those up, and what I'm going to do is fry those in a pan. And also over here, I cut up an eggplant. The eggplant was just a medium-sized eggplant, and what I did is cut it pretty thick, and I salted that, and I'm going to leave that sit on the paper towel. It's been out for a little bit. It's going to sit at least a half an hour, and that salt's going to help bring out the bitterness. It's going to kind of suck out the bitterness of the eggplant before you fry it. Really, really key. Always make sure you do that before you cook the eggplant. Also here, I have a cup and a half. You can use like a cup normally, but I do a cup and a half because I'm always feeding a lot of people. But a cup and a half in here of the rice. And what I did was I rinsed it in warm water to get it all that starchiness out of it so that it cooks up nicely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quarter teaspoon of turmeric, okay, ground turmeric. I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that in the rice because you want your rice to be a little bit spicy. And now, you know I don't measure, but I'm going to do like, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon of salt and a few shakes, maybe a quarter teaspoon of pepper, black pepper. And we're gonna do about a teaspoon here of ground allspice. It smells so good. It smells like cloves. It's just a mixture of cloves and some other spices. So I'm gonna take about a teaspoon of the ground allspice, and I'm gonna throw that into the rice too. And now you can leave it just like that with these spices in it. Or if you want to add and make it a little bit, you want to make it yellow, you can find this at the Arabic markets. And it's basically just like a food coloring. And a little bit of this goes a very, very long way. So I'm going to use about a quarter of a teaspoon and just put it in there. And what that's going to do, that's even a lot. You don't even need that much. But I'm going to put that in there into the rice and mix that all together, and see how you can see that yellowness turning it yellow, turning the rice yellow in the bowl. So some people cook their rice before they do the dish. It's not necessary. You don't need to do that. So you're going to let that set. And basically what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat up a pot like this with just a little bit of oil in the bottom, and I'm going to fry off the vegetables, and I'm going to brown the chicken, you know, maybe 4 minutes each side of the chicken until it's cooked on the outside. And then I'll come back and I'm going to show you how we're going to layer the pot and put it all together so that it cooks. So all I'm going to do right now is just cook off these vegetables. I'm going to fry them in the pan just for a few minutes. Don't make it till they're soggy, but just so they have a little bit of color on each side. So I'll do that. I'll come back and we'll show you how to build it up. All right, so what I've done while we took a little break there was I fried up all the vegetables, the eggplant, the green pepper, the onion, the potatoes. Sophie, come on over here and get a shot in the pan for me. And see, what I did was I sprayed the pan with a non-stick cooking spray, and I layered the potatoes in the bottom of the pan. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to layer the eggplant and onion, tomatoes, green peppers, then the chicken, which I'm just browning on both sides. You can see these beautiful spices are caramelizing in the pan, and I wish we had smell-o-vision because it smells amazing in here right now. These spices are so fragrant. So I'm going to go ahead and start, while that chicken is just browning up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and start layering my vegetables. And so you want something pretty sturdy on the bottom. That's why I put the potatoes on the bottom. And I'm just going to layer this eggplant in there. I love eggplant. You can use any vegetable you want. A lot of times they use cauliflower. I didn't have it, so I didn't use it. You can use red peppers, you know, any veggies that you like, you can use. And kind of put the sturdier ones on the bottom. So there's like some kind of support there. And the oil, you know, it's pretty oily, so you might want to wear gloves. I don't like to touch chicken and stuff. That's why I do what I do. I'm going to do the onion next. It's just a matter of preference how you want to do it. I'm going to do the onion. And then maybe I'll do the tomato. I love tomato in this dish. And you're just going to like kind of press it firmly into the pot. The tricky part is once you cook it, you got to pray to God that when you flip it over, it doesn't stick to the pot and you don't burn it, and it will fall out of the pot easily. My last pot, it tasted amazing, but I burned the absolute hell out of my pot and ended up having to throw it away. So you kind of got to watch it. Oops, I missed a little piece of eggplant. We'll tuck that down.
And Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, we did have a green pepper that sort of looked like Mickey Mouse. In the pot, Mickey Mouse. Excuse me, Sophie. Now, the chicken is pretty good. I've been cooking. I cooked it like 4 minutes on each side. You know, just enough to get the color on it. And it's just, I just did in a little bit of vegetable oil. And now I'm going to put in the chicken into the pot. I can actually turn that off now. And I'm going to put the chicken in.
So yummy.
Because it's going to cook for about an hour and 15 minutes maybe. So the chicken will cook up, and like I said, they're chicken thighs with no bones. They're going to cook pretty evenly and pretty quick.
So you start with potatoes.
Yep.
Then you do your eggplant, and then you do whatever order you want to do
your
your
tomatoes
vegetables.
or whatever veggies you're
And
using.
then last you put your chicken.
Yeah, I'm going to put, no, last you're going to put your rice. So see how I'm doing it, Sophie? If you can show them in the pot here. See, I'm spreading that chicken out over the top of those vegetables. So you're going to need a pretty deep pot because you got to figure that rice is going to cook up. It's going to swell up when it cooks. Okay, so now the chicken's down in there. And I'm going to grab, watch out, Coco. I'm going to grab this rice that was marinating in all those spices earlier. Get rid of the spoon. And I'm going to take it, I'm just going to, some people cook the rice before. You don't have to cook the rice. It's going to cook in the chicken stock that you're going to add. You can use water if you don't have chicken stock. Your kitchen is going to be a hot mess when you cook this dish, just so you know. Now, Sophie, show them how I'm putting the rice on I'm spreading the rice out in the pot here, and I'm just sort of pressing it with my hand, okay, like that, till it's firmly pressed in. Like I said, you're going to have a little bit of a mess because I have all these spices and everything. And now I'm going to take chicken broth. You can use chicken stock, chicken broth. You can use water if you don't have either. If you don't have it, okay? And I'm just going to open that. And I'm going to just dump that whole thing, which this is about 4 cups. And because I used a little bit of, I used a cup and a half of the rice, you just want to put enough liquid in there, okay? So that your rice is completely covered, okay? See how it's completely covered. Now, I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to turn it on a medium to high flame. I'm going to leave it on there for about an hour and a half to cook. Hour and 15 minutes at the minimum. And let that cook. And then we'll come back and we'll show you how it looks when you flip it upside down. We'll be back soon. So now Robbie, it's been cooking for about an hour and a half almost. And Robbie's getting ready to flip it over. You just take a big tray in the pan and you pray to God that it comes out, because maybe the potatoes or something might stick for you. It shouldn't, hopefully. And there, oh, the potato stuck a little bit, but that's okay. But that's basically the idea of how it looks. The potatoes are kind of stuck to the bottom. In a perfect world, everything will come out of the pan at the same time. But that is kind of how it looks, the end result. And you can see like the nice layer of the vegetables and the chicken. And it just smells amazing. And that is it. Simple.
And that's why I'm fat.
What's that?
That's why I'm fat.
Why? It looks delicious. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them the best way I know how. Enjoy.